Hello everyone, this is Crystal Potthoff from Prayerful Arts. I do have a little bit of a cold going, so I'm a little scratchy today, but I think I can get through the video. We're going to do another of the wedding circle pattern, and here's some that we've done over the past couple weeks, and I'll link those videos. This is a brown egg, and what I want to show today is how you can divide an egg if you don't have a template, which I don't even have one handy here. Oh, there it is. If you don't have a template or a tape measure, here's another way you can divide the egg. So I am going to mark the top using my paper on a hard surface. And here's the top of it. And I'll show you what I did. I have this paper. It has lots of dark writing on it. You have to put it on a hard surface and rub the egg on it, and then it will make a little mark on the top. And then I made it a little darker so it would show up on the camera. Okay, this is just a strip of paper. I was making some labels and I had to cut some strips, so I have these little strips of paper. So I went from the top to the bottom, and my bottom has a hole in it. If yours doesn't, you can mark the bottom the same way you mark the top. So that is top to bottom. Now I'm going to fold this in half. Yeah. And this is halfway. I'm just going to make a little line there. And now I'm going to put my egg, hold this right like that. And I'm going to make a little mark. And then I'm going to make another little mark. And another. And so if you've watched my other videos, you can see, usually I draw the lines this way first. But when I'm using this, I'm going to mark the equator first. Oh, okay. All right. And now we'll tear that off. Oops. Really should have been straight. Well, okay. And now I'm going to hold this and go around the egg. Right like that. And it's right there. So I'm going to fold that. And then I'm going to rip it just a little bit. Then I'm going to fold that in half. And then I'm going to fold it in half again. And each one of those folds, because now there's 4. And again, I'll make a little mark on here. Oops, sorry. Now we're going to hold it up to the egg. And I'm going to make a little mark there. There. Here. And here. And now I will connect these dots. So they're going to go up to the top, down, to the bottom. Okay. Now I'm going to do it like I did before. So I'm going to say this This is the distance between here and there. And we're going to check it on all of them to see. That's pretty close. Pretty close. Okay, so that's pretty close. So now I'm going to divide this in half. And I'm going to put where I divided it. I guess I have to do it this way, don't I? I'm putting where I fold it in half on the equator. And then I'm marking here and here. This is kind of how I did it in the video right before this. The other way was to mark it in the center of the triangle. It doesn't really matter. It's whichever one works best for you. And now I will mark the center. Okay, so we have all of the points marked where it's going to be the ends of what I was calling the petals. So on this one, and the previous ones, you kind of focused on the circle, but then also, the elements we were putting inside the circle. So on this one, I am going to make the petals, these things, really big. We may not even put anything in the center. So I'm going to make it like really big, like this and like this. It's still going to meet at those points, and these will be touching. It's not going to be quite as circular looking because we can maybe make it that way when we do the wax. So that's how it will look. I'll go around and I'll do one more. So what I'm going to do on this one is I'm really going to focus on, making these bands really elaborate. Okay. It's almost a little more square shaped because these are so big. Let's go ahead and do the top while we're here. I'll have to wax these a little more pointed than I'm drawing them. There's quite a bit of glare. I don't know what to do about that, but okay. So I'm going to draw that whole pattern on there, and then I'm going to wax it, and then I will probably still put do this in the center, like I did last week. I'll probably still do that. If I put something in here, it's going to be very simple because I want the focus to be on these. So what I'm going to do next, I'm going to finish drawing this out. I'm going to wax all the petals, and then we'll come back and we'll see what kind of elements I'm going to add into the petals. And I'm going to give my voice a rest too. So I'm back and I have all of my petals waxed. And something I forgot to mention earlier, I'm doing this on a brown egg. You can do it on any egg you want. If you want to do this on a brown egg and you don't have brown eggs, then you can take a white egg and you can dye it brown. And if you don't have brown dye, you can put the egg in red and then put it in green and you get a shade of brown. And, depends on the egg and the dyes you're using, what color brown you'll get. but you will get brown that way. Or you can do it on white egg. Or you could take a white egg and dye it a very dark color, like dark red or purple or blue, and you could do this same type of thing. Because what I'm going to do here is, this isn't going to have a lot of color on it. It's just going to have a lot of detail. So I have drawn all of the petals. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start adding the details. So I'm going to draw a line in the center of each petal. And then I'm going to actually draw 2 lines. And then I'm going to draw this triangle thing here. And I'm going to put some netting in that. All right, we'll do this all the way around all these petals. Now this is it's a fairly dark chicken egg. So what I will do when I start to etch it, I'm going to try to get a lighter shade of brown and then get down to the area that is very, very white. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put in here, I wanted to put little lines. And the last one. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some dots on the outside of the petal. I'm not going down into the points because this is all the same color, and I'm afraid if I went down into the point, it would just look like a blob because it would all be the same color. Now, if you're doing, 2 different colors on, you're doing this type of design and doing different colors, then you could do the dots a different color and you could go down to the center, but I'm not, mainly for that reason. And now that I've drawn the dots, now I'm going to draw the other band. I wanted to draw the dots first, so I knew how to draw the band. Or you could call it a diamond in the center. Now, I think what I want to do is I'm going to put something in there. Maybe I might make these a little bigger too. Well, let's stick with what we did on the other one, but not as much. We'll just do this, and this, and then, okay, I suppose I could make those different colors. All right, we'll do that with it. I will go with 2 different shades of brown. So I'm going to repeat that on all the other petals and in the centers. And then I'm going to etch it. Before I etch it, I will plug it. Maybe I'll just plug it right now. Because I'm going to etch it, I'm going to use a wax plug. So I'm going to pinch off a little piece of wax, about that big. I'm going to roll it around in a circle. Make a little ball out of it. And then flatten it my fingers. Whoops. Put it over the hole. And then I will use my Kiska and go all the way around it and sort of weld it or seal it into place. And you want to make sure you have a very good seal and you've completely covered the hole. Yes, there will be brown where I'm putting this. It'll just be a lovely part of my design. Okay, all right. So I need to fill in the petals and then we'll etch it in. We're going to use cleaning vinegar. I have all of the wax on the egg and I'm really excited about the way this design is going to turn out. I'm already envisioning this maybe on a bigger egg, like a goose egg with even more details on it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it in the cleaning vinegar, and it says cleaning vinegar on it. It's a little stronger than the distilled white vinegar. And I'm going to etch away this color of the shell to get to a lighter brown color. And then I'll come back, we'll wax part of that, and then I will etch it to get an even lighter color, as close to white as I can get. As I've said before, I get real cautious when I'm etching. I don't want to etch through something. So I don't always get down to the very white part of the shell because I get very nervous about that. But anyway, I'm going to put it in that. It usually takes about 3 to 5 minutes, and then I'll be back and we'll do some more waxing. This has been etched for, it was 2 minutes in the cleaning vinegar. One of the ways I like to test if I'm getting a different shade is I find an egg that was similar. So this egg here was similar in color to this one before I etched it. So there is a difference. So I'm going to go with this and say, yeah, it's etched enough. And now I'm going to cover the areas I want to stay that color with wax. So we're ready to start waxing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in on the center diamond. I'm not going to fill in the very center, but I'm going to fill in the ones around it. All right, like that. Okay. And then in each of my petals, I'm going to fill in where it's striped. And then right in here on either side of that triangle point that has the netting. Okay. So I'm just going to go around now and fill in all of these. All the petals. I'll do that on all of the elements. Now you may have noticed that there is a design element challenge. I don't want to call it a mistake. You know, all things happen for a reason. And sometimes the reason is you weren't being careful. And that is what happened. So where was it? Right there. I forgot to put the lines. So what I will do when I get to that is I'll go ahead and wax it. And then after I take the wax off, I have some Tombow markers and I have some Posca markers. And I'll try to come up with a color similar to the eggshell color, and I'll put the lines in. We'll see how it works. Or I could just leave it without the lines. I have to see how it looks when I take the wax off. So this will take me a while to go around and fill those in, but that's what I'm going to do. And then I will etch it again. This was etched again in the cleaning vinegar for 2 minutes. And so I'm not sure how long it will take with the next one. We just want to make sure we get it as light colored as possible. And after 4 minutes of etching, I got down pretty light. Now, maybe not, like as white as this, but definitely very, very light for me. That's as far as I'm willing to go. So we're going to take the plug out of it, go take the wax off of it, and see what it looks like. Now, because I've etched this one, I am going to rub a little bit of vegetable oil on it. That helps the wax come out of, like, the little tiny pieces there where you've got that netting in that. And I'll be back to show you the finished Pysanky. And here is our completed Pysanky. Love the way it turned out, and I'm pretty proud of the etching that I got on it. So I really like it, and I hope that these weeks of doing these types of patterns has given you some inspiration to do this wedding circle division and some different things that you can put in the elements. So thank you for watching. I'll be back next week, and hopefully my voice will be back as well. Thanks for watching. Bye. Have a blessed day.